when last we left our intrepid adventurers. Yay! We were about to fight Riproar in a mech suit. Yes.
And did it happen?
Yes, we did.
Yay!
Yes, yay! In fact, that was most of the episode. Was the fight. Even using the speed 'em up rules, it was a somewhat lengthy combat.
Mm-hmm. Which, that's about what I was going for, right? Like, if you have like a big solo boss type combat, it should take one session, like 1 3-hour session. That's appropriate, and that's what happened with the speed 'em up rules. Instead of the last time we had a boss encounter that took 4 sessions.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
What were the speed 'em up rules again?
The monsters have half hit points and do double damage. Criticals are on a 19 or 20.
And there's the surrender rules. It didn't really apply to the situation, so it didn't matter. Also, I couldn't find them.
Yeah. Yeah. Which, as I recall, are basically when you hit bloodied, you make a saving throw and it fails, your morale breaks or something like that.
You do your give up action, which might be run away or surrender or
commit suicide. I don't know. Something.
Yeah.
Something that takes you out of combat. And also, if your leader gets taken out, then the same thing happens. Something like that.
Yeah,
Anyway,
there's a leader who gives bonuses, and if you kill them, they get penalties instead.
So, combat opened with Croce just dropping some ability or other, I can't remember what it was, on... Because Riproar's inside a clanker.
Yeah.
Clinker. I keep calling him clanker. Excuse me, clinker. That has been dubbed for now Hank Jr. I'm sure Hank Jr. is going to forget all about that because he took that name so quickly and easily. As probably next person comes along.
Yeah.
Like,
no, whoever he talks to, he's that guy Junior. It's kind of like a clinker floozy.
He should bump into that gnome with the ultra long name. What's the sexy thighs?
That guy,
Yeah.
The Merciless. That's the only part of his name I remember.
Sexy thighs, the Merciless. So he could have got both those names from the same guy. There could have been a gnome that was Sexy Thighs, the Merciless.
Prince of Thieves.
Yeah.
I like to think that Hank was the only person who ever showed Hank Jr. any kindness, so that's why he's Hank Jr.
Right. So we beat up on him this segment.
So the clinkers are basically this impenetrable shell with attachments. And so Croce did something to the shell, or attacked him, because I didn't specify anything. Yeah. And it didn't work, because the shell is impenetrable. And that's when I sort of revealed that I'm going to run each limb as its own enemy, with its own hit points and its own action. Yeah. And then the clinker itself is essentially impenetrable with Riproar inside.
Yeah. It caused me some difficulty because a lot of my abilities are shoving things around kind of things, and when each limb is its own creature, but it doesn't make sense to shove them away from the thing. It's sort of, But that's all right. I played a supporting role in this combat, which is what my character is all about. I dumped some healing on someone. Who was it?
Also, the people were trying to attack the clinker body itself, but it was immune to any kind of will-based attack. Yeah. And its fortitude was through the roof. Its AC was through the roof. Its reflex was poor, but it also had resistance. I think resistance 50 against all damage. Something I gave it some actual number that they could never exceed. Right. Just in case, just so there was like some, I don't know.
Well, probably
if they're level 30, a level 30. It felt like a level 30 character should be able to, with a lot of effort, kill a clinker.
Hank on a rage could probably damage it
if he could hit it.
And then of course it had a ton of hit points. Yeah. So the body was essentially invincible.
Yeah, but that was all right. It had 4 legs, 2 arms, a crossbow, and a shock prod thing, which was, I think, its melee attack. Well, it also melee attacked with its arms. Did it do attacks with its feet?
It did, but it didn't really come up much. But I had it so that its speed was impacted by how many leg attacks it did. Yeah. So depending, and it ended up not moving a lot, so it actually did do a lot of leg attacks.
So it was just sitting there flailing away with every limb it had. And of course, while all this is going on, Riproar is in there gloating and trying to score witticisms, which really weren't very witty.
Yeah, Riproar with this hollow metallic amplified voice, taunting Hank. Well, the first thing he did on his turn, after everyone did something, then Hank Jr. ran up and grabbed Hank, or Hank was already up at him. Yeah. He grabbed him with one hand and squeezed, and then he started spanking him with the other hand. And Riproar was just laughing his head off the whole time. And then he just, unloaded everything on Hank. It actually almost killed him in one round.
Yeah.
Even with the half damage. No, it was double damage, but he was weakened because Aurora was next to him.
Yeah.
So he was doing half damage, but he still almost killed Hank in one round.
Yeah. Yeah, it was Hank I dumped a bunch of healing on too. And I think Aurora did too. He was for a while there, the focus through which all the hit points were flowing. But yeah, once we realized that the central body was impervious, essentially, we just started cleaning off limbs. We focused on I think it was like, we did a few just sort of generic attacks, and then whichever limbs were damaged, we started focusing on. Except Serendipity Van Gulstrom, lower top of the tower, ships, Doomdelayer. She's mage, she does area attacks. And this was actually, she was really happy with this fight. Because she does area attacks, and there were essentially multiple foes, and they couldn't be separated.
Right, they couldn't run away.
From the one area. So she was in her element. It's like, burn, burn, burn.
Yeah, Riproar was definitely not happy. Do you remember what he was calling her?
I know he came up with some really, a bunch of lame...
it was like something like Serendipity, then Dumb Stupid Galore, or something like that.
Yeah.
It was like the ultimate insult for a gnome.
Galore.
No, because he kept insisting that she was super ugly under her robes, and he had like somehow seen her under her robes and knew she was super ugly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was something like Serendipity, then Ugly Galore, or something.
Yeah. He thought it was really
thought it was really clever.
Mm-hmm. And I don't think Serendipity on the top of the tower, central side, was even particularly...
She didn't react.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the ultimate insult, but she probably just... even if she was upset by it, she didn't react.
I think it was probably the case that Riproar was just so lame that, the insults had no power over it.
Right. It might have gotten bigger.
That could well be.
Yeah, so, I mean, very quickly, someone broke off the arms.
Poking holes?
Yeah. Let all the goodness out.
Yeah, I actually do that too. It's so that more syrup can ooze into the pancake.
I'm going to attempt this. Try this theory of yours.
I tried using that Glimpse of the Future daily, where you roll 3 d20s and are able to grant the highest result. Unfortunately, the highest result was a 10.
Oh no!
Which was kind of lame. I remember at one point, though, I used it when someone rolled like a 2. And they were like, would you like a 10?
It's better than a 2.
And it actually did make a difference there.
Yeah, there were some limbs that were really weak against certain things, so... Yeah. Once the arms were broken off, then he couldn't do the grab and crush thing.
Yeah, I remember that was a pretty nasty thing he was doing there. I remember also at one point Riproar bragging about how he had pooped on Hank Jr.'s soul.
Oh, yeah. He was just like, hey, I don't know if you guys care, but I just took a dump on Hank Jr.'s soul. I assume you don't really care. That isn't really his voice, but...
Close enough. There's more high-pitched squealiness to it.
Which is just dumb.
Yeah.
It's funny because everyone assumed that he actually was pooping in there, but I just assumed he was just BSing something.
No, we trust Riproar. He's not deceptive.
They do have like a crystal in there that is like their life force, so I assume that's what he meant.
Could well poop on that. After everything was over, I remember we were sort of thinking about, do we hose him out or what? How does that work? But anyway.
He also had that lightning thing, sort of taser.
The shock prod, yeah. I remember him using that on Aurora a bunch.
It was really nasty until, I think it must have been someone, maybe it was Serendipity, cast something that gave everyone lightning resistance like 15.
It was Serendipity.
And I believe it did like an average of 15 damage, like it did like 13 to 18 damage. So it was just like, so you took 1 damage from that.
That one worked out pretty well.
But Riproar just kept taunting until Serendipity cast a fireball that blew off all of his legs at once. And then he just fell to the ground, and they quickly finished off all of his attachments. But he was still fine because he was like, what are you going to do? I'm in this impenetrable shell. I'll just stay here until you leave, and then I'll sneak up and I'll still get you. Don't worry, Hank.
So Hank had a plan, though. Have you ever heard of a braising bull?
A braising bull?
Braising bull, I think that's what they're called. Medieval execution
Oh,
device.
yes, actually I have,
Yeah, so we rolled Hank Jr. over to the campfire. And
they started talking about this, and he's like, no, that won't work. I'm sure that won't work.
And then we were like, well, I don't know, maybe it won't work because D&D is weird. If these clinkers have resistance fire or something,
Right.
will that somehow prevent the interior from getting hot? I don't know, maybe.
Yeah.
So we started thinking, and I remember at one point during the fight, the clinker had been knocked around a bit, and Riproar had complained about being bashed around inside the thing. And so I said, oh well, let's just get our bronze griffins, pick this thing up, fly up a few hundred feet, drop it, and that's when Riproar started panicking because there's no inertial dampers in there.
Now, I think we figured it out that it might be too heavy for the bronze griffins to lift, but that conversation didn't really make a difference to Riproar.
Yeah, we would have found a way.
Oh yeah, that's part of it too, right? Like,
Yeah.
even if the bronze griffins can't do it, I'm sure you could have found a way.
Yeah. So Riproar finally panicked and he bolted. He jumped out of the and tried to run for it.
Another combat ensued.
Yeah.
With just Riproar.
Yeah, we rolled initiative.
He won.
Fortunately, he won.
He won,
So-
and he cast a thing that this ended up really sucking for him.
He did.
He did a puff of thing that was supposed to be days save ends, and then even if you fail, it's days one round. And then I roll the dice and like 1, 2, 2. So everyone got days just one round except for Hank, who got days save ends.
Yeah.
I bet he was happy about that.
Well,
And then he bolted.
I had an ability which can grant another player a standard action. We were able to get Hank up to him.
Yeah, Croesus ran up there and did some damage, and he was already bloody.
Yeah. And then we got Hank up to him.
And Hank used his cinematic point, and Riproar only had 20 hit points left. And so Hank ran up to him. Riproar didn't think he'd be able to, but Hank ran up to him, and Riproar just looked up with these little, like, teary eyes. And it was like, beg for mercy? And Hank just grabbed him and pulled him apart till his head ripped off. While shouting, the barbarian shout. And everyone in the party was just looking on with a little bit of, like, well, except for Cricket, which is like
Cricket went,
a little bit of horror.
Good show, sir. Yay. That was Cricket. And everyone else was like, Hank, you horrible monster. Yay.
Like, that's a little bit intense.
No, Cricket was fine with that.
Well, it's not like Riproar was a person.
Well, actually, he might be. But he's not Cricket's owner. And Hank really wanted to do that, so by her. Also, I think Riproar was a bit of a jerk and deserved it. So, yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. Cricket has a little bit of a mean streak in her. Yeah, we killed Riproar. Or Hank finished him off. And he was really happy about that.
That.
And then there's poor Hank Jr. lying there. No limbs. Full of gremlin poop. And he starts doing a little thing.
Right.
And that was actually kind of disturbing, having this clinker
Cry.
weeping gently. So we rolled him back to town,
Mm.
Clinker College, and told everyone, hey, we've got a broken clinker.
And they're like, oh, what happened to you, poor dear? Let me fix you up. Aww. And they're like, these are his broken limbs. And they're like, okay, we'll fix those. Here's like 5 more. Chung, 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 chung. And they just repaired them in like 5 minutes. It took no effort at all. Because they have lots of extra limbs.
And then Hank Jr. is all happy and exuberant and yay again. And he's learned so much. There's this statue of this nameless gnome. Why would they make a statue? Anyway,
There's some
like,
statue
this is
of a
to
gnome.
commemorate some guy.
It was awesome.
Always remember some guy. So Hank Jr. eagerly bounds up the statue, grabs it, and rips its head off.
He has learned a lot.
Yeah.
And he picks up another statue, and Hank's like, no. We don't do that to everything. Just to bad monsters. And Hank Jr. puts the statue down, looks for a minute, and then bounds off eagerly into the distance.
In search of bad monsters. We know he's highly discriminating, so it'll be all right.
We only do that bad.
Yep.
So Hank Jr.'s fine now.
He's on it.
Yeah.
He's got this.
Yeah.
What could go wrong? Nothing.
I think that was roughly where the session ended. So yeah, it was basically just a big fight. But in the process, we killed Riproar.
Yeah.
That's done.
My only regret is he didn't get to torment Hank more. I was thinking at some point he'd like escape or something and like set up a horrible labyrinth like he did last time to torment Hank, but you guys got him before he managed it.
Yeah. On the one hand, I was kind of sort of hoping he'd escape, but on the other hand, it is nice to every once in a while get one of those guys.
Yeah.
It's okay. He'll come back as like a half demon or something.
I'm now a demon prince, undead death knight lord.
When he was
Riproar.
when he was casting his higher powered stuff that was way more powerful than a gremlin would normally have, I mentioned that
Oh, right, yeah.
Serendipity could tell that it's like the same basic type of power as what she has from her deal with Stacia.
Yeah. Now, of course, none of us know anything about this in character. You know, there was some speculation, like, is Stacia Riproar? Is Stacia making deals with Riproar?
Well, they're both creatures of the Rift, right?
Yeah. I assume gremlins are creatures of the Rift.
Yeah, they're chaos or fae or whatever.
So they could be related.
There's Stacia is Riproar's sister.
Yeah, it was definitely one of those situations where unexpected things led to awesome. Like, I didn't think you guys were going to be able to get Riproar. I thought you would just fail to scry him or whatever.
Yeah.
And then he happened to be next to a mech suit who had taken a liking to Hank.
So next session, we'll do the time trap. There's not really anything else to do here, so we'll just let the time pass. Or we could do the cobblestone quest, but, you know, I'm sure that'll just be a quick, we did it. What could go wrong?
I don't know, it's just delivering a cobblestone to an ancient home.
Yep. It's not like we'll get caught up in some kind of cobblestone politics or some big clan feud they're having or something.
That never happens.
It's like, oh, you brought Cobbly back. Cobbly is the heir to our clan's ancestral seat, but his half-brother, while he was away, has usurped the throne.
Yeah, slate.
Yeah.
Slate slab.
Yeah, I think everyone was happy to clear something off the list, too.
Yeah. So next session, we'll save the world, get that off the list as well, and then we can move on to some more important stuff again.
A cobbly conflict.
Yeah. Well, this is going to be the closest that I've managed to arrange for the party to get to the Empire of Endless Flowers, so
So we should have everyone level up now that I think about it.
we need to make sure everyone gets a
the
good
last time they
impression.
leveled?
That was a few sessions ago. They should have probably already leveled up last session, but we did a lot of, like, fritzing around, so...
Yeah, it's not really stuff that earns levels.
Although, I just based on number of sessions, but I felt like we didn't really do too much, so...
So yeah, that's it. I guess I'll start off the recording now.
Hank, that's disgusting. And not disgusting, it's repulsive. Ugh. Oh man, I really questioned this, what you've done. Ugh.
Well, it's a shame poor little Hank Jr. had to be torn up so much. I mean, I only sort of care about him. But you know what? It was worth it, because finally got to deal with that freaking Riproar, and I got to take his little neck in my own hands and rip his head off and crush it under my boot heels, and it's the most satisfying thing I've done in a very long time. Of course, everybody else thought it was horrific, but no. Well, Cricket thought it was fine. It's not like... But you know what? It was a personal thing. I had to do it. I couldn't let anyone else take the kill either. It had to be me. And, it was cathartic. I feel refreshed. I feel good about it. I'm glad that this is over. I'm glad that he is gone. Good riddance.
Okay, so Cricket, I'm thinking about what happened with Riproar today, and it's really odd. So he's been camping out on Hank's back for all these months just so that he could wait for an opportune time to say, screw you, Hank, or something. Just seems weird to me. Like, that's a lot of time and effort to put in to just, getting some... I don't know. Doesn't that seem strange to you, Cricket?
Well, I don't know. Everyone has their own priorities.
I don't know. It just... I don't understand what motivated him. Of course, Hank annoyed him while we were down there, and, he annoyed Hank and they had like a thing going where they annoyed each other, whatever. But is that enough to actually like live on somebody's body, following them around and spying on them for months and months and months with absolutely no return? Like his character just seems like the kind of creature that would lose interest fairly quickly when he wasn't getting any feedback, right? Like Hank didn't even know he was there for all that time. It just doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense. I don't know what's going on, but I feel like there's more to this than just revenge on Hank, because it would have been boring. And Riproar isn't the kind of thing that would like getting bored. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, I understand. He's actually quite an imbecile, but I don't know. It was perhaps just his nature.
I don't know. It seems weird to me. Maybe I just need to learn more about gremlins. Let's read the encyclopedia together.
All right.
Okay.